Okay, let's start with a question that, well, it sounds completely absurd at first, but honestly, it gets right to something weird about our bodies. Why does the body suddenly decide to pick favorites with texture?
Favorites with texture. Okay, explain.
Seriously, think about your skin. Your arms, your stomach, your chest, they mostly follow the rules, right? Smooth skin, stretched pretty nicely over whatever fat's underneath.
Generally, yeah.
But then you hit the zone, like maybe 4 inches above the knee, and boom, everything changes. Suddenly the thighs, the buttocks, they just decide, hey, you know what? Let's go for that kind of dimpled orange peel look, but only there. Why?
It's a bizarrely specific constraint, isn't it? And you nailed the location. It's like there's a strict geographical boundary. Science basically says, nope, it doesn't happen elsewhere.
Right. No cellulite on the arms, the back, the belly. It's weird.
It is weird. And that huge spatial limit, that's our giant clue. This isn't fundamentally just a fat problem. It's structural.
Absolutely, because if it was just about having fat, well, let's be honest, many of us have other areas perfectly happy to store fat and they stay smooth.
Exactly. Smooth as silk sometimes.
So why this specific zone? Why the quilted look just there? Okay, so today, let's do this. Let's ditch the idea that we can just diet this away. That's not cutting it.
Agreed. It's deeper than that.
We need to figure out what specific scaffolding, what structure is actually broken down, and more importantly, what kind of, frankly, extreme measures it takes to actually force it to rebuild.
Okay, let's dive in then. Get under the skin, literally.
Yeah.
If we're fixing a structural problem, we got to know the structure that's failing.
And we are officially shifting the blame. Sorry, fat cells, you're off the hook, mostly.
Mostly. So picture the layers. Deep down, you've got muscle. Then, sitting on top of that is the subcutaneous fat layer.
Okay.
But the layer that really dictates how smooth everything looks on the surface. That's this dense sheet of connective tissue. It sits right above the fat, just below the skin. It's called fascia.
Fascia. I always picture it like a really tight fishing net. Or maybe like a super organized hammock slung right under the skin, holding everything in nice and tight.
That's a great analogy. A perfect one, actually. When that scaffolding, that net, is healthy and doing its job, the fat underneath stays put. Nice and compressed. Looks smooth.
Makes sense.
Cellulite. That's just what you see when that connective tissue scaffolding starts to break down. The organization goes kaput, the collagen strands get weak, they deform, maybe even snap.
So the net breaks.
Right. And because the net's gone, that underlying fat, which was behaving itself before, now it can push upwards, bulge out unevenly into those gaps. That's your dimples.
So it's like a collapsed fishing net letting the cargo bulge through.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why? Why is the scaffolding so weak just in the thighs and butt? Is it like defective collagen down there?
Well, it is designed differently in those spots. The actual architecture of the connective tissue there, it tends to run in more vertical columns. Think like a picket fence.
A picket fence instead of a net.
Exactly. Whereas in your arms or abdomen, it's more like a cross-hatched pattern, like a basket weave.
Yeah.
Much more stable side to side. That vertical picket fence structure, it's just inherently easier to push through or deform.
Okay, so we start with a structurally weaker picket fence where we really needed a robust fishing net. But, you know, a fence doesn't just fall over on its own. Something has to be actively knocking it down right about. What tells the body, hey, time to dissolve these collagen pickets?
Ah, now we get to the real culprit.
Yeah.
There's a destructive force. It's an enzyme, actually, one that dissolves collagen. Our bodies make it for a specific reason.
An enzyme.
Okay. But what's really fascinating, and honestly deeply frustrating for many people, is the main trigger for the systemic release of this enzyme. The big one.
Okay, here we go. This is where it gets really interesting, isn't it? Because the source is totally unexpected. It ties back to something fundamental for women.
Get this. The single biggest physiological trigger for releasing too much of these collagen-dissolving enzymes is the hormonal shifts during the menstrual cycle.
Wait, what? Hold on. Are you seriously telling me that a basic monthly biological process, something needed for the uterus, is unintentionally wrecking the structural integrity of my legs? That sounds like a massive design flaw.
Yeah.
Not needed.
Well, the body isn't trying to sabotage your skin texture.
Right.
It's just prioritizing, maybe. See, it has to release these enzymes. They're called MMPs, matrix metalloproteinases, every month.
MMPs. Got it.
Yeah, they're needed for the tissue remodeling in the uterus, shedding the lining. That enzyme release is crucial locally in the uterus. But unfortunately, the spike is systemic. It travels,
Oh,
and
no.
it affects connective tissue, collagen elsewhere. And where does it hit hardest? Those structurally weaker vertical fascia sheets in the thighs and buttocks.
So it's collateral damage. The body's doing essential maintenance in one place, and it inadvertently causes structural issues somewhere else. Okay, that clarity. It suddenly makes all the usual fixes people try sound, well, kind of pointless.
They are often futile because they target the wrong thing. Let's run through them. The obvious one, lose weight. People think less fat, less cellulite.
Right. Makes intuitive sense.
You will shrink the fat cells, sure. Think of them like tiny balloons deflating. But the scaffolding, the net, it's still broken. Those vertical strands are still weak or snapped.
Ah. So the dimpled look stays, even if the bulge is smaller, the cage is still busted.
Precisely. The structure's the issue, not just the volume inside.
Okay, what about the huge collagen supplement industry? Billions spent. If I just eat the scaffolding material, shouldn't my body use it to rebuild?
Logical thought, but it's missing a step. Yes, eating collagen gives you the raw materials, the amino acids, but your body is kind of lazy about big repair jobs unless it gets a strong signal.
A non-negotiable command, you mean?
Exactly. You're delivering the bricks and mortar, but you haven't told the construction crew there's an emergency and they need to rebuild the foundation right now. They'll just use those amino acids for other stuff.
Okay, materials without instructions. And the creams. All those lotions with caffeine, retinol, green tea, they promise smoother skin. Surely they fight that nasty enzyme we talked about.
They try. And look, they're not totally useless, but they're just dramatically insufficient for this problem.
How so?
These creams can inhibit those MMP enzymes a little bit on the surface, but the real breakdown, the structural failure, that's deep down in the fascial layer.
Way below where the cream can reach effectively.
Right. A topical cream just can't deliver enough active ingredient depth enough to really counteract a system-wide hormone-driven enzyme surge happening way down there. It's like using a tiny water pistol to fight a forest fire.
Okay, that paints a picture. So creams are weak tea, dieting just shrinks the collateral damage, supplements are just raw materials waiting for orders. If the body needs this non-negotiable command for repair, what's the absolute best way to shout that command?
We got to use the one language the body always listens to when it comes to structure. Intense mechanical stress.
Mechanical stress, like a physical force?
Exactly. The regrowth of connective tissue, rebuilding that tight fascia net, it is highly responsive to mechanical overload. Stress it hard enough, and it responds.
So we have to physically stress the skin, the muscle, the ligaments, right in those problem zones, the legs, the butt, create like a local emergency signal that screams, warning, structural collapse, build new collagen girders, and now W.
That's the idea. If the stress is mild, like, gentle cardio, the body just shrugs. Yeah, the current setup is fine for this. But if the stress is sudden, intense, really demanding, the body kind of freaks out.
Panics.
Yeah, in a cellular sense. It says, whoa, we almost failed there. We need a massive upgrade. And it triggers a big, expensive long-term rebuild.
Okay, but we can't just jump straight into structural detonation, right? It sounds like you need to work up to this. We're talking about forcing microtrauma, cell regeneration. It's not just about sweating.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Gradual buildup is crucial. Before you even think about the ultimate fix, you need foundational exercises.
Yeah.
Build tolerance, resilience.
Okay, step one.
First, focus on time under tension. Really important for collagen. We start with slow squats. And I mean slow, like 4 seconds going down.
4 seconds, wow.
Yeah, and maybe 2 seconds coming up. Slow, controlled, probably painful. Aim for, say, 3 sets of 10 reps. Maybe daily to start building that base.
That slow descent, that's the time under tension, TUT. Why is that so much better than just banging out reps quickly?
Because when you move slowly under load, you maximize how long the muscle fibers and that connected fascia are under strain. That controlled, sustained tension, it creates the right kind of microtrauma. It signals the cells, we need stronger stuff now.
You're basically forcing the cells to experience near failure in slow motion.
Clever.
Like a controlled emergency.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, what's the second exercise in the build-up phase?
Step-down lunges. They really target those stabilizing muscles in the glutes and thighs. Alternate legs. Maybe 3 sets of 10 reps per leg. But only maybe twice a week for these. Again, control is everything.
Got it. Slow squats daily, step-downs twice a week. Now the recovery part. This sounds critical, and probably the bit everyone ignores.
Oh, absolutely critical. Recovery is literally when the rebuilding happens. That's when the body makes and lays down the new, better collagen.
So if you're sore.
If you're seriously sore, that deep muscle ache, that means you've signaled for repair, yes. but the repair crew hasn't finished the job yet. If you go back and stress it again too soon.
You just tear it down again before it's rebuilt stronger.
Exactly. You get stuck in a cycle of damage without the upgrade. You must wait. If you're sore, wait 3, 4, 5, heck, even 7 days before hitting those muscles hard again. This isn't about pushing through pain every day.
It's a long game. Structural renovation, not a quick paint job. Weeks or months just to build tolerance.
Precisely. Weeks or months.
Okay, we've done the prep. We've built some foundational strength with slow torture. Now, the main event. The structural detonation. The thing that apparently talks directly to the cells and torches subcutaneous fat like crazy. We're going beyond slow and controlled now, aren't we?
We are. We're aiming for the ultimate 30-second torture session. Keep mechanical stress command.
And the exercise is? Don't keep us in suspense.
Hill sprints.
Hill sprints,
Okay.
okay. But not just any hill, right? You mentioned something specific earlier.
Not just any hill. Forget that nice, smooth, paved path in the park. You need to find an uneven hill. Grass, maybe some bumps, roots, inconvenient terrain.
Why uneven?
That's the secret sauce. Start walking to warm up then. You sprint. Flat out. Maximum intensity, like something terrifying is chasing you up that bumpy hill.
Okay.
The uneven surface forces your body into chaos. Extreme stabilization, you're pushing hard with one leg, pulling with the other, constantly correcting side to side so you don't fall. It's push, pull, stabilize, all at maximum effort simultaneously.
That sounds brutal, but I can see how that sends an insane stress signal to the fascia, like total system overload.
It's an explosion of connective tissue stimulation. Your body basically thinks failure is imminent unless it dramatically upgrades everything immediately. The burn. Intense, lungs screaming. And here's the punchline. The actual work time is ridiculously short.
Because you physically can't maintain that kind of intensity for long.
Not even close. Sprinting, flat out, maximum effort, up a bad hill. Most people, maybe 10 seconds. Tops. Then you stop.
10 seconds.
10 seconds of pure hell. Then you stop. You rest. Completely. Walk back down slowly. Catch your breath. Wait like 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes. Let your nervous system recover.
Okay, 10 seconds of work, 5 minutes of recovery. How many times do we repeat this glorious agony in one session?
3 times.
3 sprints, that's it.
3 sprints, 10 seconds each. That's your workout.
So the total working time for the most powerful structural repair program known to exercise science is 30 seconds, done maybe once or twice a week.
Approximately 30 seconds of actual work, yeah. Once, maybe twice a week, max, especially when you start. It's high impact, high risk, short burst demolition and rebuild. Sounds nuts, I know.
Yeah.
But it's pure cellular biology.
We absolutely need the reality check here, though. This sounds dangerous. Falling, weak knees. This isn't for beginners.
Absolutely not. This is advanced. You must build up to this. We're talking 6 months, maybe a year or more of consistent foundational work before even attempting this safely. But if you can get there, that extreme short burst mechanical stress, that's the most potent signal we know for commanding new, strong collagen in that fascia.
What a wild ride. Okay, let's recap. Cellulite. Fundamentally not just fat, it's a breakdown of the collagen scaffolding, the fascia underneath.
Right, that net structure.
Made worse because it's already structurally weaker in those areas, and it gets hammered by a collagen-dissolving enzyme released systemically every month for uterine maintenance. Talk about bad luck.
A very unfortunate biological side effect.
And the fix, it's not gentle, it's not diet, it's not creams, it's forcing the issue with brief, explosive, frankly terrifying bursts of mechanical stress, like those hill sprints.
That's the core principle. The big insight here is that our body's structural systems, they don't really respond that well to just gentle upkeep or a long, slow endurance. They respond to demand. Sudden, intense, explosive demands that basically convince the tissue it needs an urgent upgrade to survive the next onslaught.
Okay, so final thought here. If 30 seconds of all-out, maximum effort sprinting up a terrible hill just once or twice a week can literally rewire and rebuild the connective tissue structure under your skin, what other big, deep-seated foundational problems are we maybe trying to fix with, gentle, sustained effort, when what we really need was just a terrifying 10-second sprint? Now that's something to chew on.